This is Brian Waller, Zoning Board of Appeals Chairman. As a preliminary matter, we'll start by confirming that all remote members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Ms. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Yeomans?
Yes.
Mr. Never mind. Ms. Biswas?
Here.
Ms. Koshavos is here. Mr. Berger?
Here.
All right. So good evening. It is 7:05 p.m. This open meeting of the Grafton Zoning Board of Appeals is being conducted both remotely and in person, consistent with the legislative acts of 2021, Chapter 20, Section 20, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. This meeting is convening via Zoom video conference as posted on the meeting agenda, which can be found on the Town of Grafton website. Please see the meeting agenda for details on how to participate remotely. Please note that this meeting is being recorded. All participation within this meeting will be visible to others. Accordingly, please be aware that other people may be able to see you and that you should take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording of this meeting, and that recording may be published or rebroadcast at a later date. This meeting will feature public comment. To request acknowledgement to speak, please use the raise hand feature in Zoom. The meeting administrator will enable you to speak when it's your turn. For those on the phone exclusively, the AV staff will coordinate with the meeting administrator to allow you to speak. Finally, each vote taken during this meeting will be done by a roll call vote. All right. So with that said, we had two things on the agenda for this evening. Fisherville Terrace asked to continue that to a later hearing. That just happened this morning or late yesterday. So let's see. So the only case that we'll hear tonight is case number 890 for 16 Elmwood Street, which is a continuation from, I believe, the December meeting.
January, I think.
Because I missed the last one.
Yeah, so it was January.
Early January, wasn't it?
Yep, it was January.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, January 12th.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Yeomans?
do we not have to continue Fisherville Terrace to a date certain?
Yeah, but we can do that after we do
Okay,
Elmwood.
okay.
Okay. So, oh, I see. Sorry, I'm just looking at the minutes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Elmwood was continued from the
Yeah.
last hearing. Okay. And there was no vote taken.
Correct.
So we have 5, and we'll appoint Ms. Biswas as a voting member in place of Mr. McCusker this evening. And everyone can vote on Elmwood Street, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we have 5 voting members. Let's see. So, do we have to reopen the public hearing?
No, because it was continued.
Okay. So we've been provided updated plans that reflect the parking for 10 vehicles. Mr. Berger, any comments on this plan?
The last time I saw the plan, I did not have clear calculations on 50% above what they have presently. So I asked Brian to go back to his land surveyor and make it a little cleaner so you can see what they have before the proposed and after the proposed. I haven't seen that yet. So if there's something new that I haven't seen, Katrina, can you at least share the screen so I can look
Yeah.
at what Brian's looking at right now?
Yep, give me 1 minute to get into.
And Katrina, you received the one that I sent yesterday, right?
Yeah, it came in after I left yesterday and I wasn't in today, so give me 1 minute to,
Okay.
it's next, well, normally everything needs to be in with it 48 hours before. Come on, why is this doing this to me? There we go.
Peter, do you see the updated site plan?
Yeah, he has it in his hand.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and I'm looking on the left side of it, and it says detail A, proposed additional. Oh, I'm sorry. Detail B, previously paved area to be grass seeded 209 square feet. And then down below that in black, that was in red. In black, it has area existing driveway 1915. So do you think we should add the 1915 and the 209?
Well, what I wanted now I see,
Hold
Are
on,
these
I
my
know, I don't
emails?
know where it went. Give me a sec.
I mean, I realize what you asked, Bob, is to them to definitely put the numbers down that we shouldn't have to do
Yeah,
our, do
I
our
don't want,
own-
I don't want to have to assume anything. I want it on paper that it is, 48% increase.
He technically did, and once the screen goes up, I can share where is it in the plot line. I used the exact words that you gave me, and this is what he sent me.
Okay.
So right there where the mouse is, where it's right on black. See, exist, impervious, and then there's 4281. Yep, a little bit further down. Yep, that one. So he's saying that the maximum that we could increase, it's 2,140 square feet allowed by the 50% guideline that we had.
Okay.
And proposed increase is only 2,017 square feet.
Okay. So he didn't give it to us in percentages. He gave us that 2140.5 equals 50% of an increase.
Exactly. Yep.
That's what he's kind of
He
telling us.
has all the calculations there, but to make it clear, that's what he also added.
Oh, because of existing impervious covers is 4281 times 1.5, which is 60%. I mean 50%, which equals 6,421.5.
Right. And to get to those numbers, I'm also removing the sheds. So the sheds are helping coming up with all the calculations, and we will have within the 50%.
Do you follow that, Peter?
Yes.
And Bill, you follow that too?
Yes.
Sorry, could you just explain that one more time?
Oh my God, why did I lose that again?
I'm sorry.
I blame this on Katrina.
Sure. So
Yeah, I'm having technical difficulties tonight, sorry.
So the zoning bylaw 3435, if you're in the water protection overlay district, you're not allowed to increase your impervious by more than 50%. So I asked the land surveyor to make it so he tells us exactly what his percentage is, but he didn't give us that. Katrina, you gotta stop it.
I'm trying to make it bigger and move it, sorry.
Yeah, just don't even bother anymore.
Okay.
Just stop right there. And he didn't give us a percentage. He gave it to us in square footage. So
but he
existing,
also showed that the square footage equals the percentage of 50%.
existing impervious covers times 50% gives us 6,421. So then we have to take the existing what he has, and then we'd have to add the proposed increase of 2017 and make sure those two numbers do not increase more than 6,421.5. I wanted it cleaner.
Down
So
be-
can I just make sure I'm understanding? So we have existing the 4281. 50% of that is the 2140.5. And so we are allowed to increase impervious area by that much, but the proposal is 2017.
That's right.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if we add the 2017 plus the existing, which is 4281, I come
Mhm.
up with 6298, which is under the 6421 anyways.
And that's with removing the shed and so on and
Exactly,
so forth.
exactly.
So I'm satisfied that he meets 3435 for the water protection overlay district. It took a while for Brian and I to get here. But,
Yeah,
but we're-
and I asked the surveyor guys the exact words that you gave me, and this is what he showed me back
Right.
yesterday.
right. And again, in the open space is 73.09, which can't be lower than 75%. So he makes it on both of the requirements in the water protection overlay district, which is 7.4, I think D. And then the bottom equation is 3435. So if this came in front of me and it didn't need a special permit, but it needed to meet those two criterias, I would approve this. Mr. Chair, did I answer your question?
Yes, and I think, yeah, I think it makes logical sense the way this is mapped out here. Not mapped as in geographically, but mapped as in the walkthrough of the numbers. Anyone else have questions?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Yeomans?
Yes, thank you. I have a question of Mr. Salerno. Are you going to replace the existing blacktop from the street into where it ends now?
Yeah, the plan is to redo the driveway so it looks new and nice.
That's seriously compromised, I think. And the other question I have is, are you considering any screening behind the parking area? Any shrubs or that will grow to, down the road to larger shrubs? And I know the people on one side of you there, I believe it's number, it's, on the right side of the drawing, I forget what the number is. I think it's probably 6. Oh, that's 12 Elmwood. They have a fence that goes apparently around the whole perimeter.
Okay.
Do you have any idea that you might be putting in some, plantings to kind of hide the parking area
We
from?
Yeah, we can do that by either planting something or a
Yeah.
fence. Yeah, we can do
I
that.
mean, I have planted a lot of, green giant arborvitaes that
Uh-huh.
you can buy 6-foot ones, and in 3 years they're 10 feet.
Right. Yeah, no,
know,
that's
that kind
not a huge stretch for us, no.
Yeah, okay. Could we, Mr. Chair, could we make that a condition on the plantings? Or the applicant is agreeing to it. I believe I should rephrase that. I believe we can make that a condition of granting this variance, and the applicant is in agreement with that. And it just, in time, creates a barrier from the abutting houses. And as they're looking down into it, they're not looking down directly on the cars. They might be doing that initially, but, I think, and I'm in favor of this. I think the property has been in a state of decline for a number of years. And I think that, the investment in changing it to a four-family with all of the necessity of redevelopment of the property itself is going to improve that property in that neighborhood.
So, I guess my concern with making it a condition would be that on the fly, just, saying arborvitae's or whatever that may be, or a fence or something, I think it sounds like the petitioner will endeavor to do something, but I'm not sure that how we would require that without being super specific,
Well,
and without that on the plan or, shown somehow. I mean,
And also, if I could add, I mean, let's remember too that it's already a parking space there, and it is a three-family, so it is the space for 6 cars. I'm just having to add 4 more to something that's already existing. So if it is a three-family, that's where the cars would park anyways.
Mr. Chair, I don't question the plan, but as I've visited the property, I just think it would look nicer long-term in the back if there were plantings of, and I use the example of a green giant arborvitae, which is a relatively inexpensive tree that grows quickly and that will provide some screening of the parking to the abutting neighbors. And I do believe we can make that a condition in granting the variance without having it designated in an additional plan. But that's your call. Thank you.
what? But what would we? I guess I'm not clear what you're suggesting for a condition. I understand arborvitae's or something to that effect, but a specific number, a specific length of coverage?
Well, those parking spaces, as I look at his plan, if he had 6 arborvitae's spaced along on each side of those parking spaces in the dirt area, that would provide some screening of that parking space eventually to those neighbors. And it's not so much, looking, right now, the person to the right has a fence all around his property, and the other person has some natural growth around the property. But it's just a suggestion that I thought, as I visited the property and looked at it, I think it would, in addition to what the applicant is doing to improve the property, I think that will further improve the eye appeal of the property. That's all.
Ms. Reed?
So I totally get, like, I love trees as much as Bill. And I think it's a great thing to put out there, but I feel like that Mr. Salerno came to us to change a 3-family into a 4-family. We asked him, he had to change the parking, which he's done. And I kind of almost feel like it's sort of like, oh, by the way, we would like it if you would do this. I'm not sure if I kind of agree with Brian, like it seems a little loosey-goosey, and I don't really know. I don't feel like it's really quite fair to Brian to have to suggest all of a sudden he's got to throw in extra money to put in trees when there weren't any there before. So, I mean, if he's willing to do it, I think it's great, and his neighbors will love him, but I don't know how we can add that and say, we'll give you this if you'll do that, when it wasn't part of the original discussion. Just my thoughts.
other comments from the board on that topic?
The parking lot's about 80 or 90 feet long approximately. I scaled it. So if you put abrevieties in and you plant them 2 feet apart, you're talking about 40 of them.
Now, but I'm not talking 2 feet apart. I'm talking like 8 feet apart. I mean, 2 feet apart, it's just 8 feet apart on each side.
No,
But,
but if you want a green fence, they gotta be close. 8 feet apart, and then you can see right through it.
Yeah, but initially, you'd have to put up big arborvitae's 2 feet apart. I don't think that's necessary. But I hear what Kay's saying, and the applicant is willing to do it if it's the desire of the board to not make it a condition, which I feel it could be made a condition as a variance.
I'm
And
willing,
that,
I'm willing to do it if I have to do it.
you what?
I'm willing to do it if I have to do it. I'm not proposing to do it.
Mr. Chair, may I procedurally say something?
Please.
This is not a variance. This is a special permit.
Okay, right.
It doesn't matter on, you're asking. Your ask is still your ask, but it's a variance is different than a special permit.
Right, I stand corrected.
But I think theoretically, though,
We
we
probably-
could add that as a condition.
To do it right, we'd have to have him come back with probably a planting design.
But to support
We-
it.
No,
No.
I mean, to do it right.
Yeah.
And I
Natalie has her hand up.
Oh, Natalie.
I'm sort of on the same page as Kay, and I don't necessarily think we need the screening unless someone asked for it, or unless like the neighbor asked for it or something, which I don't think has been asked. I mean, I think it's okay. That's just my 2 cents.
It's the closest to the property line, it's 25 feet. So that is quite a distance.
Do we have a comment?
Yeah,
Question?
Steve, yeah, there's a comment in here, Steve, I believe he's the abutter. Says the green giant abrevieties at 8 to 10 feet caliber are $600 to $800 each.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
not cheap.
Okay. So I mean, I think it's a good thought, but I mean, I think it's, is it something where we could, put a condition that it has to be painted blue, and I know that's not where you're headed, Bill, but,
no.
I think as a homeowner or property owner, he has some discretion there on how to.
Yeah, I'm not looking to burden the applicant. It's an idea that I thought would look better. If he chooses to do it, that's his prerogative. And I withdraw my earlier comments based on the feelings of the board. And Mr. Berger's pointing out that it's a special permit.
So, when was this purchased by you, Brian?
I don't remember exactly what month it was last year. It's probably been 8 months.
2022?
Yeah, 2022, correct. As soon as I purchased, we went on to get the architectural plans and navigate the guidelines, and
Okay.
I think this is our 3rd meeting already.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the findings that we have to make here and just make sure that, we've kind of checked the box on everything. So it's actually, so back to the legal notice here.
based on the year that it was built, which is, I believe, in the early 1800s, Mr. Soleno, is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
1820.
That it's a pre-existing, non-conforming, structure.
I think you have most of your findings in my zoning determination, if you still have that on record.
I do, I have it right in front of me. Matali?
Is there a screening requirement in the bylaws for
No,
this? No? Okay.
Well, no, you can't say that. There is, but that's under the planning board when they do a subdivision
division.
Got it.
or a commercial
Like
redevelopment.
site plan review?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that wouldn't be before us anyway.
Well, you could on a special permit, we've had this conversation before, that you could incorporate a site plan review. But with this plot plan, you're really doing the site plan review with the plot plan.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, I guess so I know it's pre-existing non-conforming. I thought, my assumption was that this had more to do with the setbacks.
No, it's a multifamily home in a R20 in a single family district.
It's both. It's both. You're in an R20 district, you have a 3-family right now, which is not allowed. So that's pre-existing non-conforming use. So that triggered that. But you also have, and I don't want to pull the thing up, the plot plan, because it kept on going and out. You also have a pre-existing non-conforming structure. So he triggers it on both points. You're only 8 feet, so you're extending the pre-existing non-conforming structure. That's number one. Number two, you're extending the use from a 3-family to a 4-family of a pre-existing non-conforming use. Both were established, well, the building was established, I think I heard, and I don't have it in front of me, in the 1800s it was built?
1820.
1820. And when was the use of 3-family? I don't have that document in front of me right now, so I can't answer that.
Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out here the motion that we need.
Which would probably be the legal notice, Brian.
Yeah, it's usually the legal notice.
And I forgot my file in the office.
I have it.
Okay.
All right. So does anyone from the board have this in front of them? Or I can have Peter.
I don't
make a
either.
motion. So it's the information there.
Are you looking for a motion?
Yes.
I move the Grafton Board of Appeals grant a special permit to Brian Salerno for 16 Elmwood Street for a change of use to allow a 3-family building into a 4-family apartment building on a pre-existing non-conforming lot.
Second.
Motion made and seconded.
As per exhibit, as
Exhibit
per
A.
exhibit
Got it.
A.
Yep.
The plot plan dated,
Plot plan dated, January 20th, 23.
Mr. Chair, I know I shouldn't talk during your discussion, but that motion read on a pre-existing non-conforming lot. This lot conforms.
So pre-existing non.
No, I'm sorry, on a pre-existing non-conforming building. That sound better, Bob?
It does, and I'm sorry to interfere with you.
We gotta get it right. I read it wrong.
okay. Okay,
And I second the corrected motion.
Thank you.
all right, motion made and seconded, we'll do a roll call vote. Ms. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Adams,
Yes.
Mr. Yeomans,
Yes,
Ms. Bizwas,
Yes,
chairman votes yes. Special permits granted.
Okay, Brian, the way it works is I have 14 days to get the, decision written and have them come in and sign it and file it with the town clerk. After that
Awesome.
14 days, there's a 21-day appeal period, so that means, if anyone wants to appeal it, so on that 21st day, you would come to the town clerk, pick up the certificate of no appeal, file it with the Worcester Registry of Deeds, bring me that filing, and then Bob can issue your building permit.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, it's not that easy, but that's okay.
Yeah, 'cause we still have to figure out the,
Well, that
Fine.
other stuff, but
Everything.
you,
Yeah,
my
the sprinkler.
portion is done, and then I can give him the filing, and he'll be okay to issue your permit.
okay, I'll work
Okay.
on the sprinklers while we're waiting on that.
Okay,
Excellent.
sounds good, Brian.
All right, thank you.
You're
Have a good night.
welcome. If you have any
Thank you.
questions, just give me a call.
Sounds good.
All right, so we have minutes from the January meeting.
Yep.
Mr. Chair, before I leave, the only thing that I can say is I don't know if you put findings in there. And I don't know if I missed you putting findings in that decision or not.
I did, I have the findings in front of me.
Okay.
I mean, the decision will be issued, right?
Yeah, it's done. It's already voted on. It's done. But usually before the vote happens in the motion, there's findings
We read the.
that it was, it's pre-existing non-conforming because it was built, blah, blah, blah. It's in the water protection overlay district. It's less than 50%. And it's habitable. That's the wrong word, with the surrounding properties. That's what I usually hear.
Not
And
more
I,
detrimental to the surrounding property.
right. And I don't know if you can sneak those in or put those in now afterwards because you have them in front of you. I don't know. It's just something that I wanted to bring up before I said goodnight.
I guess it doesn't hurt.
I don't think we usually put it in the motion. We just put it,
Well,
No,
Bill usually reads through the findings, but we can write up the findings and I'll
Right.
type it up in them.
so, I mean, I'm happy to go through them. So the lot is 37,240 square feet.
Yep.
R20 requires a 30-foot front yard setback. The structure is located
29.
28.1, is it 29 or 28?
I think it's 29, but let me look. I'll put it on. Cause this I can pull it up. Huh? It is 26. It's got a 26-foot front yard setback and then an 8.3-foot side yard setback,
Where it requires 15 feet.
where it requires 15 on the side and 30 on the front.
And it requires 15 off the rear, and it has more than 15.
Yeah, it's fine on the rear.
All right, so based on those setback findings, it's a pre-existing non-conforming structure.
Correct.
Current use is a multifamily, I'll say three-family.
Yep. Proposed use is a 4-family, which are not allowed in that zone. So based on that finding, it's a pre-existing non-conforming use.
And the neighborhood consists of primarily, is it a multifamily?
What's down in that area, Bob? Is it multifamily or is it a?
Yeah, I would say, duplexes and multifamilies in that surrounding area, in the surrounding area.
And based on that finding,
It's not more detrimental to the neighborhood.
right, the change of use is not more detrimental. It is in the
Water
water
supply.
supply.
And the proposed increase is less than 50%. Geez, I'd like to jump on the board and be with you guys.
Yeah,
It'd be great to have you here, Bob.
all right, so,
We need an alternate.
Yeah, we do need an alternate, Mr. Berger.
I would never be able to serve on the board. A little bit of a conflict.
Just a tad. So we just need we need a motion to close the public hearing, folks.
So moved.
Second,
motion made and seconded, to close the public hearing, on case number 890, which we should have done first.
That's okay.
Ms. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Adams,
Yes.
Mr. Yeomans,
yes.
Ms. Bizwas,
Yes.
chairman votes yes. Public hearing is closed. Is there any comments on the minutes from January 12th?
Zoning board, have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, good night,
Thank you,
Robert.
Good night, Bob.
Good night.
Mr. Chair, I have one comment on the minutes.
Sure.
The first, the bold type on the first page, Katrina, in the sentence, case number 890, Acting Chairman McCusker explains to the applicant
Yep.
that we only have 4 members present
Okay.
who can vote on this case. That's the only correction that I felt.
All right. Anyone else have comments or changes? So I entertain a motion to accept the minutes from the January 12th, 2023 meeting.
So moved?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Do a roll call vote. Ms. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Yeomans,
Yes.
Mr. Adams,
Yes.
Ms. Bizwas.
Yes.
Chairman votes yes. Minutes are accepted.
Okay, so 2 things. We need to continue Fisherville. We have another case that's gonna be coming in. It's Dave Mason. He wants to tear down the old Janet's Hilltop and put a duplex in. So he submitted something. It has not been stamped in yet because we're going back and forth because I need a certified plot plan. So we got to schedule that. And on top of that, I got an email from Steve O'Connell that we have another 40B coming in. Pleasant Street. So with all that being said, when we get the 40B, we have 30 days to schedule that hearing, to open that public hearing.
That's after we get all the packets, correct?
Uh-huh. And from what I understand, the packets are ready. I did send Steve an email back telling him how many packets I need to hand deliver to all the departments, the town departments. So just giving you all the info.
Right. We want to say a month from today,
We could do a month from today.
March 16th?
Yep. So I need a motion from somebody about Fisherville.
So entertain a motion to continue the case number 754, notice of project change regarding the size of the drain pipe for Fisherville Terrace to the next meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals to be held on March 16th, 2023.
So moved?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Do a roll call vote. Ms. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Yeomans,
Yes.
Mr. Adams,
Yes.
Ms. Bizwas.
Yes.
Chairman votes yes. Fisherville is continued to March 16th
At 7 PM?
at 7 p.m.
Okay.
Anyone have anything else?
March 16th, right? Yep.
Yep.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we are adjourned.
Nope. Motion.
Nope.
Someone's gotta make a motion first.
I'll get this
Oh,
one of these days.
All right, don't worry about it. I move we adjourn.
Second,
All right, motion made and seconded. Ms. Reed,
yes.
Mr. Yeomans,
yes.
Mr. Adams,
Yes.
Ms. Bizwas.
Yes.
Chairman votes yes. Now we're adjourned.
Thank you all.
Good
Good
night,
night,
all.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.